Well, a man who was in an Okaloosa County deputy's cruiser when two deputies opened fire on the car says he will sue the sheriff's office. Marquis Jackson and his lawyers say he was handcuffed in the back seat at the time. The sheriff's office says the deputy who first opened fire was startled by what he thought was a gunshot. The sound actually came from an acorn falling on the patrol car. Both Jackson's legal team and the sheriff's office revealed never-before-seen video of the incident. NBC 15's Karis Harmon takes a look tonight.
Marquis Jackson took us back to November 12th, the day he says his life changed.
I could have died from each bullet that was shot at me.
Jackson's legal representation says while he was handcuffed in the back of an Okaloosa County Sheriff's deputy patrol vehicle, he was shot at 32 times minimum. Jackson says although he was not struck by a bullet, his mental health has been altered.
I haven't been the same since. Will I ever have a peace of mind again? Imagine being shot at a tremendous amount of times while handcuffed in the backseat of a cop car by the ones we call to protect our community.
The sheriff's office stated Deputy Jesse Hernandez first shot at Jackson when he, quote, heard a pop sound, which he perceived to be a gunshot and believed that he had been hit. Documents determined the popping sound actually came from an acorn that fell on the deputy's patrol car, not a gun.
If you are so scared that when an acorn falls on the hood of a car, you start doing tumbles and rolls in the street and think that you've been hit, maybe you are unfit to wear the badge.
It is not acceptable that these officers, deputies, and their department is calling this a mistake. It is not okay to call it a mistake. There is no mistake.
Jackson's attorney, Dewitt Lacy, says they will be filing a claim for damages, followed by a lawsuit.
There has to be some consequences from it.
The legal team shared never-before-seen video with us showing multiple deputies involved in the incident.
After many rounds were fired, there was a slight break. Officers then told me to put my hands in the air and sit up straight. I knew I couldn't put my hands in the air because I was handcuffed, and I couldn't sit up straight because they were aiming at my head.
More shots that were fired at Marquis when he was handcuffed in the back of a car.
Lacy questions why only one deputy was reprimanded. Deputy Jesse Hernandez, the officer who first shot at Jackson, resigned in December.
There was a sergeant on duty who said all of this was okay, who said that it was okay to make Marquis sit up so that they can shoot rifles around his body as a human target.
An investigation determined Sergeant Beth Roberts' use of deadly force was objectively reasonable. The sheriff's office in a statement doubling down, saying the team has been and continues to be honest and transparent in its response to the incident. The office says, quote, the notion that such an event would be swept under the rug as alleged in today's press conference is absurd. The office emphasizes that two separate investigations, including an independent review from the Office of the State Attorney, were conducted. The office says it was disappointed to hear what it says are false claims regarding the use of rifles in this matter and the, quote, irresponsible comments made about the deputies that are both offensive and untrue. At no point were rifles shot at Mr. Jackson. The sheriff's office also releasing new body cam video showing deputies responding to the November shooting.
Marquis, put your hands outside the window. I know it might hurt, but you need to do it.
Thinking he was still armed, the deputies can then be heard telling Jackson how they can help him get out of the car.
Marquis, we're about to deploy a device on the back window, okay? You are not being shot at. It is so we can see you, okay? We're going to break the back window. You are not being shot at. Do you understand? No, we're going to break the back window so we can get you help. Do you understand? So we can see you and we can get help to you. Do you understand? Yes or no? No, Marquis, we're going to use a tool to break the window. Do you understand? Do you understand, Marquis? It is a less lethal object. It is not meant to harm you. It is meant to break the window. Do you understand? Okay, do not shoot back.
Sheriff Eric Aiden also disputing some of the lawyers' claims that 32 rounds were shot. He says the investigation confirmed 22 rounds were fired. They continue to say, if necessary, through the litigation process, the sheriff's office is fully committed to defending themselves.
I don't know, maybe they thought you were Jason Bourne or somebody. Marquis said that he escaped from handcuffs, pulled out a silenced weapon and started firing from inside the car. It sounds ridiculous.
Karis Harmon, NBC 15 News.
Lacy says with this lawsuit, they want to hold all law enforcement who was involved accountable, not just Sergeant Roberts and former Deputy Hernandez, but also all the deputies that came on the scene afterwards.